What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, Regina, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome, guys, to yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys who are already in the building. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my like Basa Boy in the building, my co-host. Big up to you, man. How you doing, Basa Boy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Coming off the back of a big win the past weekend, holiday
Mm.
season. We're about to make our first signing in January as well. Hopefully, not the last. So things looking good, and we're in the crucial week of the season. I feel like this for me, this week coming up is going to be dictation of what will to come for the rest of the season.
For sure, for sure, for sure. But listen, like just like my man like Basa Boy, what he just said. Happy New Year to all the people out here. I hope you guys had a great start to the year 2026, right? And I hope you guys spend a lot of time with your families and stuff like that. It's always time to spread positivity. You know what I mean? Right? New year, new expectations, and we all know at the end of the day, we kind of put that in everything in life. But one thing that doesn't change in 2026 is the fact that Espanyol are still and will always be under our shadow. But before we start with that, guys, let's actually start with something that's just come out a few minutes ago, guys. The breaking news, guys. It's been all over the place, guys. Guys, as you can see, right? It's not been confirmed by Fabrizio just yet. Fabrizio Romano hasn't confirmed it yet, but every other news outlet has been talking about this, right? Is the Joan Cancelo link to Barcelona? Now, we saw during the beginning of the month, right? There was like some murmurings that there was a potential opportunity for Joan Cancelo to return. We knew that he was pushing for the move. He really wants to return back to Barcelona. And basically, in the last, I would say, even 30 minutes, right? It's been going all over social media. And Rashad Rahman actually, he actually came out and said it, right? He said, an agreement in principle has been reached between Barcelona and El Hilal over a loan for Joan Cancelo. The Catalan club will cover 5 million of his wages. The official announcement is pending, right? And for all intents and purposes, right, it seems that this move potentially is going to happen, right? He's all but likely. We're just waiting for the Fabrizio Romano. Here we go at this point. That's the only thing we need to kind of, nail it. But Jean Cancelo back at Barcelona. Like, Hafed, what do you think, man? Like, I'm gonna be very real. I remember when he left in 2024, I was a little bit upset because I thought under the Flick system, I feel like a guy like Cancelo, especially going forward, bro, he would absolutely fish, bro, with the attacking style, right? He would definitely be an outlet for Yamal, right? He would give Yamal that more of that attacking options, right? For Yamal to kind of cut inside and do a lot of work deep, right? What do you think about this move? What do you think about man like Jean Cancelo back at the
I
comeback?
mean, it's a interesting one. For me, I was similar to you. I was someone that really wanted to keep Cancelo after his first loan. I think the reason why he didn't was mainly due to the backlash of his defending in the last 2 months, 3 months of the season against PSG and the Clasico. But I think, like you mentioned, going forward, he is just fantastic in build-up play as well. Um, I'm content with it. I wouldn't say I'm over the moon. I wouldn't say I'm angry. Seeing in the chat, a lot of people are upset about this move. I can see why they're being upset because our priority was to go in to try and get a center back that's left-footed, and we've come out with a right back. I think Cancelo for me would have been the nice like cherry on the top kind of signing if you got a left center back and you're bringing Cancelo. That for me was solid. Again, Cancelo was not our plan. He was a market
Mm,
opportunity. He
mm,
came twerking to us like Nicki Minaj, and we said, you know what, why not? We're struggling to find, like we were talking on the last pod
right.
about center back options. We talked about Marco Senesi, De Vrij, Otamendi, these kind of mid names. Where I personally think, apart from Senesi, I think Cancelo trumps all of them. If you look at
Right.
what we were being linked with,
Yeah, absolutely, man.
we had Nathan Ake that we
That's
were
the
linked with.
number.
Yeah, we were linked with Nathan Ake. He's now injured. We got linked with Garvadio more so for the summer. He got injured. I forget who else we were linked with, but I think
Yeah,
Cancelo,
like I mentioned, we know Disasi was linked.
Disasi,
Yeah,
yep,
Disasi
Cancelo
was
is
like
better.
and so Disasi
My
hasn't even
my
like.
only issue with Cancelo signing is that I don't think it will solve our problem because we
Mhm.
will lose our fluidity in the defense. If you sign Cancelo, then you push Kunde or Aaron Garcia at center back, you're gonna have two right footers along with Kobarsi. We're gonna have those same issues we had around October, November time where we were going through our kind of bad period. Of course, don't forget with Cancelo as well. When we first brought him in under Xavi, he's
Mhm.
playing right back. He was playing well. We saw Kunde getting pushed centrally. We thought
Mhm.
finally we're gonna get that Kunde Arujo partnership we been promised for years to come. We
Mhm.
saw that in in September. That was Xavi's best part of the season. We're beating Antwerp 5-0, Betis 5-0, and then Balde was out injured for the rest of the season. Of course, no one wants to see Marcos Alonso at left back every single day for a whole season. So you put Cancelo back at left back and then Kunde at right back. And then we saw Cancelo play at left
Mhm.
back the whole season. We saw Cancelo. We signed Cancelo for right back.
For right back, and we had to play him left back all
And we
season.
saw
Right?
more at left back that season than at right back. So hopefully this time will be a bit different. Again, he probably will be playing at left back a little bit to rest Balde because Jordan Martin is going to be playing center back a lot. Maybe Jordan will get pushed back. We'll see Kunde, Eric. Again, there's a lot of things that Flick can do. Again, for me overall, I'm happy with the signing. I'm not too pleased with what we're paying. So he's
And 5
Cancelo.
million is not bad considering how much the back he's getting at Al
So
Hilal.
his wages at Al Hilal for the season is 15 million, which is a lot, of course. No one. I think only Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski earn that kind of money at Barcelona.
Right.
Of course, half the season's already gone, which means they've already paid him about seven and a half of that. So there's 7.5 left. Going into the second half of the season, we're paying 5, which means that Cancelo forgave 2.5 million, which of course is a lot of money for me and you.
Mhm.
That would set us up for life. So it's a lot of money. But that means if you do the math, from now until June, when his loan expires, we're going to be paying him 200,000 euros a week. Which, if you compared that structure into what we're paying current players, he's now like a top 5 earner. Even though it's only for 6 months, it's not his permanent, wages, so to speak. But that's a lot for 6 months. We have him on 200. You have Rashford on 280,000 per week, which means that our two loan players are earning around 500,000 euros per week.
Yeah,
Which
that's
means,
not good. I know.
I mean, it is what it is. There's no transfer fee. One thing I do like about Joan Garcia as well is the integration. He knows everyone in this team. He doesn't know Joan
I think that's why
Garcia.
he was the move, to be fair. So
Yeah. He
clearly
doesn't
he's
like.
desperate to return.
He only doesn't know 5. I did the counting. There's only 5 players in the team out of the whole 25 players that he's not played with.
That's the players that we signed. I would say the players that we
Yeah,
currently
it's Joan
signed. Right? So
Garcia,
the Olmo, Joan Garcia,
Rashford,
Rashford,
Rooney,
Rooney
and
Barnes.
Gerard
Yeah,
Martin.
basically in the starting 11 in general, maybe Joan Garcia is the Rashford are the only ones he hasn't really doesn't really know on a personal basis, right? I mean, Rashford, he was playing when he was playing at City, he played against Rashford a few times, so he kind of would have learned a lot from playing against Rashford to know what Rashford's strengths are. You understand what I mean, right? And also, like you mentioned, integration is easy, right? He's someone that speaks English, right? At the end of the day, I feel like he will quickly adapt. And more importantly, like you mentioned, he wanted the move. He was desperate. Like from the moment the month started, we were hearing the moments that he wanted to leave. And the only club that he was being linked to was us. We were the only ones, right? And they were saying, yo, he was desperate. He was willing to do anything. Like apparently when the talks got initiated, he went to Al Hilal and said, yo, I don't care what happens, bro. Yeah, figure it out. Yeah, agree on something because I want to go.
So what happened is that Al Hilal and Inter Milan reached a full agreement for Cancelo over on Friday. I think before the new year, they reached a full agreement. They're just waiting for Cancelo to say yes. Cancelo was telling Barcelona, yo, I want to come to you. I'll do anything, blah, blah, blah. And he was delaying the deal. He was asking Inter Milan. Of course, he used to play for Inter Milan, so he has a little bit of a relationship.
Yeah, he did. He was there on loan,
so
funny enough.
Yeah.
In
And
2016, 2017. No. 2018, 2019. 2019. Yeah, he was there though. I remember we wore number 7 over there. I think it was 18-19. He
went there. They went Juventus, then to City.
Yes, because remember, he went there on loan. He actually cooked over there, and then they didn't sign him. He went to Juventus. Juventus signed him because remember he was at Valencia.
Yeah,
he was at Valencia. Then
and
went to loan.
And the Inter Milan president came out yesterday saying that we really want Cancelo. We're pushing hard. Dumfries going to be out for 2 months. We need a right back. He's the most ideal option. They were pushing really hard. He was telling them, give me a few days to decide. But what he was really doing was telling to Barcelona to hold up, try to sign me essentially. So that was the big play. And I do think that the integration, him already knowing the city side of play, all these sort of things can be beneficial to us. 1 second, let me turn this off.
No, please. Anyway, until Basketball fixes his audio.
No,
Make sure you
someone's
guys
calling
smash
me.
the like.
Shout
Oh,
out the ringtone. Shout out the ringtone. But
yeah, I always keep my phone on silent before we start. I get called every time I'm on live streams.
So I think it's a good signing overall, especially if we don't sign a center back. Cancelo is better than nothing. But I am still holding out. I am still hoping that we do go out there and sign a center back. I still think we should. I don't think Cancelo is going to be, the answer. I don't think Cancelo should be that signing that will push us, get us excited, and take us what we need. I think Cancelo will keep this team kind of the same level, just to provide a bit more depth. I think a center back will take the team to the next level and maybe even push for big trophies for the rest of the season.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. I think for me, right, I'm just happy that we made a signing. I did not expect us to make any signings this January, right? And look, at the end of the day, let's be real, right? I think Garcia has been good at right back, right? But clearly the manager trusts him at other positions. He trusts him more in defensive midfield, in the center back, right? And Jules Koundé has been so unreliable this season. He kind of needed that challenge. He kind of needed that option. And I feel like you mentioned, right? Now that we have Joan Cancelo, it makes you question, okay, so what could he potentially do during the season? Could he decide maybe to see if Jules Koundé, he can integrate Koundé in the defense? Because we got Christensen, who's basically out for all season. You understand what I mean? Right? So we need more defensive options, right? And Jules Koundé is a center back. He's a center back at the end of the day. Center back playing a right back, right? Many people don't trust him as a center back, really, right? But at the end of the day, he is.
I trust probably Koundé more at center back than I do at right back, especially with how disgustingly bad he's been this season. I think Koundé should be holding bench as soon as we just got the here we go now from Brice Romano. The deal's done.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Go ahead.
But I'd much rather have Jules Koundé at center back. Sorry, Cancelo at right back than Jules Koundé for what we've seen this season because he's been horrific. So I think that's an important aspect as well. So it says here, actually going to be paying $4 million as a loan.
So yeah, guys, I'm about to pull it up.
So it's $1 million. It's $1 million less. Well, we'll see. Well,
so basically, there's the here we go, guys. So basically, from what Fabrizio said here, Barca sent an initial official bid to Al Hilal for Joao Cancelo. Loan proposal with a small part salary covered. Negotiation ongoing. Inter have verbally agreed with Al Hilal for Cancelo since last week, which we just mentioned, right? But the player is waiting for Barcelona. That's basically the word here, right? But no, and this is the one that just came out. This is the breaking news right here. Say Joan Cancelo to Barcelona. Here we go. Deal in place for loan until June. Exclusive story confirmed as Barca will pay $4 million in loan coverage to Al Hilal, as revealed today. Despite Inter having a deal in place, Al Hilal with Al Hilal, Joao only wanted Barcelona. Now, there it is. All right, all but confirmed. And now that we know we're not even going to be paying $5 million, we're going to be paying $4 million. It's not bad.
That brings it to $170,000 per week as opposed to 200. So that's not too bad. We'll wait and see what's true and what's not true. Again, all the Catalonia journalists are saying 5. Fabrizio said 5 2 hours ago, and now he's saying 4. So maybe Barcelona got a cheeky good deal in the last few minutes. But yeah, as soon as Barcelona, I don't know if you were watching the reports this morning, but around like 12 p.m., so about 4 hours ago my time, is when Barcelona submitted their first official offer to Al Hilal. As soon as they did that, you knew it was done deal because you knew that Cancelo said yes. You knew that Barcelona would only go for him if everyone said yes, and we knew that we were going to deregister Christensen anyways. I said this in my video this morning that if Barcelona make a bid, the deal will 100% happen. And I felt like in that video I was saying to you, in my opinion, it's not sources or anything like that, but in my personal opinion, I thought the deal was going to get done because
I agree too, because I saw the way the player moved for it.
Like,
sometimes. So let me explain, right? Obviously, I had my reservation as far as if we could get the deal done. If we could get the deal done. Not if Cancelo, we could agree with. I think personal terms between Barca and Joan Cancelo was probably agreed upon before even the month started. Because the fact that we entered 2026 and instantly my guy was kind of force his way out. And there was always that inkling from the moment he kind of, put it out there that he wanted to come to Barcelona. I'm sorry, he wanted to leave. The one playing team that they were just mentioning was Barcelona. I was like, I don't know how we're going to get this deal done. But then I realized, wait a minute, this Joan Cancelo, and this is with Joan Cancelo, he has never hidden his love for the club. Like, even when, like, we saw even in El Clasico last season when we won, every time we won El Clasico, he was always posting, right? You can tell, man, like the guy, in that loan deal, he really kind of integrated with the club, right? He had a lot of love. I think he really wanted to stay, but in the end we couldn't keep him. And you know what it is also, Asa boy, right? Here's the thing. For me, this is great news. Like I mentioned, I like Joan Cancelo, and I think that, maybe defensively he's not going to be amazing, but he's not awful as a defender, to be honest. I don't
but
feel
the issue is, and the reason why some Barca fans are upset with this, is that he was really, really, really got exposed at the end of that Xavi season. Again, we had no one else. Balde was injured. I'll take an exposed Cancelo over Alonso, but he was really getting exposed. If you look at that 3-2 loss that we had in the Clasico where Jude Bellingham scored in the last second, all the goals were Cancelo's fault. The 2 balls in behind, and he gave away a penalty on Lucas Vazquez as well, I think, or was it Kubarsi? It might have been one of the 2, but he got exposed. Hopefully now it's different, especially I'm very interested to see how well or how poor he'll do in the Flick system, because Xavi was playing conservative ball. He asked a lot from Cancelo, up and down. But now Cancelo will be put into a team where the entire team defends. He'll be looked to do more in the front line than in the defensive line. So I think it's better than nothing. First of all, you have depth now as well. You can hopefully now bench Koundé when he's absolutely shit. You maybe even see Eric Garcia at right back and Cancelo at left back more, because don't forget Eric Garcia has been our best player.
Oh yeah, he's been doing an amazing work at right back. Absolutely.
In midfield he's been doing fantastic.
To be fair, I agree with that too. I think
let me cook. He's been doing fantastic in the pivot, but now Frankie and Pedri are both back, and I think that Flick really likes that. We saw in the Espanyol game when he made the subs, instead of taking off Frankie, he took off Gerard Martin and then put Eric Garcia at center back. So I think he really likes that Pedri de Jong pivot. I think despite Eric Garcia playing world-class levels in the pivot, I think he wants to keep the double pivot of Pedri and de Jong, which means that Eric's going to have to go somewhere, either right back or center back, because he's been our best player this season. I think he's much better at right back than he is at center back. So we could see that as well. So look, we're talking about it, we're debating it. It brings the question. He's coming in for a relatively cheap deal as well. He's a world-class fullback going forward, inverted into midfield. He can provide something, some depth. It's not long-term, so I think it's better than nothing, of course. We needed someone to come in. I'm praying it's not the last, because if we can get a left-footed center back, I would still go for Marco Senesi. I think he is a sublime option.
I agree too. I agree with that.
A market opportunity. We're going to be using this is another thing as well to keep in mind, that we're going to be using Andreas Christensen's salary to bring in Cancelo, which means if we want to bring someone else in, we need Ter Stegen to leave. Because now we have no space.
He's been linked to Girona now.
Yeah, and apparently now he's open to it. Alhamdulillah. Send them away. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well.
Because of the World Cup. I think he's trying to.
I don't care. Leave, put yourself on I'll even pay him to leave, because at this point it's better for him to play than just sit on the Barca bench and do nothing. So we already used one of our options in terms of sign play, which is taking away Andreas Christensen's salary for the season. So again, now if we want a center back like you and I both want, probably every single Barca fan, even the people in the chat want, we need now Ter Stegen to leave, because now we have no room on in terms of salary margin to bring in a player, unless they're maybe on dirt cheap. But I don't think any player that we would want of quality to come in on that price. So has to be someone coming in. If we do want a new signing to come in, we now need Ter Stegen to leave.
Right. I agree. And look, hopefully we can be able to get those deals done, right? I mean, at the end of the day, with Deco, you just never know, right? At the end of the day, hopefully he can kind of get a deal struck and, get Ter Stegen, even if it's on loan, whatever it is, right? Just get him out, right? So that we can be able to, like you mentioned, like sign a defender, right? If we can get in, like you mentioned, unless his contract runs out in the summer, I feel like, Bournemouth will accept. I think they will accept anything. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to sign a new deal. He's been linked to other clubs like Juventus, another club that are apparently looking at him as well. So he's got options. So even if he doesn't leave in January, he's not guaranteed to stay at Bournemouth at all, knowing that there's still clubs out there that are desperate to have him, right? So, yeah, I think Bournemouth, if they're smart, they'll just cash in and just kind of get, what they can for him, right? So
but they're kind of in a little bit of a relegation battle, Bournemouth. So I don't know if they'll definitely take him or not. So
Are they really? I didn't even know that.
yeah, look at the table for a second.
I didn't even. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know that. I thought Bournemouth were actually comfortable in the table. To be honest. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. Well, look, for me, I feel like as far as this Joan Cancelo move is concerned, it's the right move. I'm happy. I'm over the moon, right? I'm glad that we got the deal done. And yeah, let me see. Bournemouth.
Would you really say over the moon? I wouldn't say I'm over the moon. I would just say like
the reason I'm over the okay. So the over the moon point is, and you're right, they are 15. But when I say over the moon, honestly, I'm not saying I am. I think it's an incredible move. It's going to be life changing, but I just think that it's good that we have options at right back because we've seen that at the end of the day, Kunde continuing to play regularly, bro, and just having terrible games, right? It is what it is. But like you just mentioned, when it comes to the Flick system, I really want to see how Cancelo is going to do because here's the important thing about Cancelo, and this is the one thing we need to talk about. Joan Cancelo, right, at Manchester City. If you look at when he was considered one of if not the best fullback in the world under Pep. It was more of his attacking work. Do you remember, bro, how good his crossing was? His assists that season he was getting, bro. It was absolutely really good. I think it was in the 2020, 2021, 2022 season, right? Cancelo was probably the best fullback in the world at the time. Everyone was he was literally the one that everything everyone was saying until the fallout with Pep. He was practically untouchable. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. That's what I think. That's why I think that at the end of the day, I would like to see how he does in the attacking style of Flick because I feel like it might suit him. But
I know I'm quite excited to see him back again. I think you and I are on the same boat that we didn't want to see him leave. I think the timing of it and how City needed to resolve his future really really quickly is what took so much away from it. But I think overall his season loan that he already had was a semi-success. Just kind of ended poorly with his defensive side of his game, but. We have a natural fullback coming in. And you and I are both advocates that we need someone to come in at right back. So we have someone now at least. And maybe I was saying this in my video this morning as well, that maybe the club seeing Cancelo come in, providing depth, seeing Koundé back in the middle, and then of course Cancelo going to be leaving at the end of the season, might spark Barcelona. Okay, let's go for Ryerson from Dortmund. Let's go for a Van der Sar from Monaco and spark that kind of fullback sign that we all know that we desperately needed. But we may even see him stay long term. I'm just gonna check his age actually. I forget how old he is. So he turns 32 in May, which means maybe he has 1 or 2 years left at the top level. I mean, if Al Hilal asked for a cheap price, like under 10 million, depending on how well.
Yeah, would you sign him on a permanent deal?
It depends. He has to really cook. I would rather. I'll tell you this right now. I'd rather sign Cancelo permanently than Marcus Rashford. So if we have 30 million to buy Marcus Rashford, we definitely have 10 million to buy Cancelo, and I'd much rather do that. It'd be very interesting to see which two of our loan players stay. Either both stay permanently, both go, one stays, one go. That'll also be interesting as well. But I'm excited. But I do hope there is a little bit more in the tank, a little bit more in the bag. But, increases versatility. Apparently, the dressing room, I think someone mentioned in the chat, and you pinned it as well.
Yeah.
The entire dressing room were telling Flick, hey, man, bring him in. He's a quality player. So in the end, Flick did approve the deal. And he said, he's basically said what we're all saying right now. Cancelo is better than nothing. If there's no left back out there, Davarai. I want to look at my YouTube thumbnails recently and see who we were linked with in terms of defenders. We got Ake, Senese, Davarai, Murillo, Disasi, Otamendi. These names are dead, right?
Oh, Otamendi, bro. When I heard Otamendi, I said, bro.
Apart from Senese, Cancelo's a better option than all of those. So maybe Flick realized that as well. And again, I'm still holding. I will wait and see what after Cancelo gets announced and stuff like that. We'll wait and see how the media and how
we'll see. I think
because if you look at, I have a quote here from Flick that he said before, I think the Villarreal game or maybe before the Espanyol game. He said he was asked on the transfer market. He said it's a difficult question. When you look at our back line, center backs and full backs, we do need one more player, but we have to discuss it. It's not easy to bring a high level player in the winter transfer window. I trust we can do something, but it has to make sense. So this to me makes sense. You bring it up. He asked that he said we need one of a center back or a full back. He got that player quality in the winter transfer window. So let's see.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. And hopefully we can see more during this January transfer window. We pray at the end of the day, right? So yeah, man. But listen, guys, make sure you guys smash the like button, guys, as usual, man. But look, let's actually get into the main topics of today's show, because obviously this is the Blaugrana Podcast. let's talk about the weekend game, right? Let's talk about the game that matters, man. Let's talk about this game right here, ladies and gentlemen. Is this one? All right, yeah, correct. Yep. It's the one. It's the one. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Catalan derby, 2026, the start of the year, we were looking at the fixtures and we saw this game playing against us against the Espanyol team, who, to be fair, were in good form before they played us. Absolutely cooking, right? 5 wins in their last 5 league games, right? Had every single, hope. And let's be honest, right? With all of the build-up, right? All the talk about Joan García returning back to his hometown club. We heard what the fans were saying about him and all of that. And in the end, despite everything that they put through, and they really put us to the sword. Like, bro, these guys were playing out of their skin, right? As you know, football is a result business. And in the end, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona got the results. All 3 points are ours. As far as Espanyol is concerned, hold that. You guys are our little brothers, man. How dare you think you can step up to us? You guys haven't beaten us in the league at your stadium since 2009, brother. Right? Respectfully, RIP to him. But Daniel Jacques was still your captain, brother, when you guys last beat us in the league. Right? RIP to the brother. But dude, that's how long it's been. Right? You guys haven't beaten, like the only time they've beaten us since in their stadium was in 2018 under Valverde in the Copa del Rey. That was the last time they actually beat us. Ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned, 2-0 goes by Olmo and Robert Lewandowski. But let's be real. We all watched the game. We were getting battered pillar to post in that game. And man like Joan García, against his hometown club of all teams, he decided to save his best performance of the season against his own hometown club. Bro, imagine, right? Imagine you build a player, bro. One of your best players that's come out of the academy in decades, right? You're the treasure, the guy who basically saved you from relegation. You are absolutely criticizing the hell out of this guy, right? Criticizing him, right? Calling out for his head. And brother, this guy, he clearly, I'm sorry, he took it personally, bro. The way this brother was moving in this game, you could literally see the confidence slowly coming off the Espanyol players, bro. I could see it, bro. You could tell, like, at some point, these guys were like, yeah, well, we're not scoring today, bro. I like, bro, it is what it is. But Joan García, bro. I mean, before we even talk about Joan García, let me actually ask you, in general, what did you think about the game?
I think it was an interesting game. It was definitely a derby for sure. I didn't feel like Espanyol were, battering us during the game. And then they had a few solid chances, as did we. Their chances, would have been converted if we didn't have Superman in goal. But the win was so integral. I did not celebrate a goal like that in quite some time.
Bro, I saw your reaction. I saw it, bro. The way you were screaming. Oh my days, man.
Because it's a derby. You needed the win. You expected Madrid to win against Betis. And drawing to them would have been more annoying as well. I felt like both teams honestly weren't really that good. No. I wouldn't say that we played poorly. I just felt like both teams
were good. I think they were.
I don't think they were. I think you can see that
they controlled the game better than I thought they would.
Yeah, I guess. But they are fifth, so it's not like they're terrible this season. And I felt like both teams I felt like both teams kind of had that new year kind of rust a bit. But we had chances as well. We had Lamine Yamal chance, the Eric Garcia chance, the Ferran Torres chance, the header, and the 1v1 in the second minute. So we had some opportunities. I think the game was even, and now we have 6 extra points. Villarreal game and this game because of Joan Garcia.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's talk about it, man. We were just having this debate last week. Last week, we literally had this debate on Joan Garcia. I was telling you, brother, I have never seen a goalkeeper move like this at this club, bro. I've seen great goalkeepers, don't get it twisted, right, at this club, right? But a game changer, a goalkeeper that can literally be the stark difference between us winning and losing. I'm sorry, right? There's not a point, and I've been watching this club for a long time, right? I watched the Stegen's whole time at Barcelona here, bro. I don't remember, bro, and I really had to really sit down and really think about it, right? And I'm like, bro, I don't remember Ter Stegen having a game like that where his performance is the sole reason we walked out with the victory. Because let's get it clear here. We won the game 2-0, but that was a flattening result to us, Hafid. It was flattening, bro, because we were getting battered, bro. We created nothing until the last 5 minutes. Really clear-cut chances. Our first goal was literally, I think before that, the Koundé chance where he headed it point blank and the goalkeeper made a great save was literally the only thing we created the whole game. Joan García saved a point blank header in the first half, saved a one-on-one in the first half, saved 2 one-on-ones in the second half, another one where he literally, the player literally dribbled past him and he still stuck his hand out and still got the ball. A little bit of the ball, and that was the main reason we didn't concede, right? The way Joan García has been playing, bro, I'm sorry. This guy is a game changer of epic levels, man. Like, I've said it before, man. If Barca are really serious about trying to win the Champions League, going back to win the Champions League, right? We need a goalkeeper who can be able to do what he did yesterday, because in the Champions League, we're going to get those crunch games where we are going to get absolutely battered. You understand what I mean, right? In defensively. Maybe we will be able to do our own attacking work, like you know how we did against Inter last season. Bro, I genuinely think now, looking back now, bro, if we had Joan García, we would have probably won that game. Let's be real, bro. Let's be real. Because Joan García would have probably saved some of those chances that we conceded in that game. I'm not saying we would have conceded, but the way Joan García is playing, he's a difference maker. And people can say, but he hasn't proved in the Champions League yet. Brother, this is his first year in the Champions League. His first year, he hasn't settled to the Champions League yet, bro. The moment trust me, he will have that one game that's going to make everyone notice.
Hope it's the English club so we get more PR.
Listen, an Arsenal, a Manchester City, one of those clubs, that are actually cooking. Let's see if we play one of them, and here's the reason why we win. Like, that is the thing. And that is and yesterday he was world class. Bro, right now he is the best goalkeeper in the world. It's not even a conversation. I don't care. Dude, I'm coming with that energy now. I don't care, bro. This is not like one of those things where I'm even trying to be shameless as a Barca fan. I'm sorry, I don't see no goalkeeper in the world doing what he's doing right now. Courtois is good. But bro, Courtois this season has not been putting the saves I've seen this guy make. Have you seen Courtois have a game like we saw yesterday? I'm really struggling. I don't remember him having a game like this season against any team. He's had great games. Dude, no, I'm sorry, he hasn't. He's made a lot of great saves, but he's not been the game changer of why they won or lost the game this season. He's had a few good saves where you're like, oh wow, that save right there, that could have been the equalizer. That could have been the winner. And he's the reason why, like I remember the Dortmund game in the Club World Cup when they were 3-2, like they just got a penalty, it was 3-2, and then they had a great chance at the end of the game, and he had to make an incredible save. That's it. But Joan García, incredible, world class, best goalkeeper in the world, bar none. But you know what? I want to, before we actually talk about the other players, what is your opinion now? Because it's been a week now, right? Because you were really, you were kind of, defending Ter Stegen a lot. I mean, not current Ter Stegen. You're talking about Ter Stegen 2023. I want to make sure, the people in the chat understand my guy's not a fraud. He's not sitting here saying that Ter Stegen can do what he's doing, what Joan García is doing now, okay? He's talking about prime Ter Stegen, right? How good he was. So, I'm very real, bro. Did you see prime Ter Stegen do what we saw yesterday?
Listen, I've seen those type of performances and we've lost and he still conceded. I would say so. Yes, again, I remember that 3-2 Clasico when Messi held the shirt up in the last second goal. He's making saves like that. Point blank from prime Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale. We still conceded twice, but I have seen them. But it's nice to see it again for the first time in a few years. I will say that. And hopefully he goes this January. There's a little bit of save us some money, put himself on the market, but it's quite clear that the end of the era with Ter Stegen and the new one with Joao.
It's beautiful to see, isn't it, man? Like we are clearly going to a new era, right? New players, a new team, right? And to have a goalkeeper of his age, bro, like this is our goalkeeping department probably saved for 10. Bro, I can literally now look at my team and say, for the next 10 years, I actually have a goalkeeper I can trust on the back. Like, dude, I've never said that as a Barca fan. Even when we had guys like Valdez who were extremely reliable, right? He was a reliable keeper. He wasn't Casillas, with all due respect. He wasn't Casillas. Even as Barca fans, we can admit he wasn't. You understand what I mean, right? But he was capable. For me, when I look at Joan García, I'm like, brother, if we build, if our attack cooks, if our defense is fixed, if our midfield is fixed, we are ready to go and win the Champions. We are ready to go and dominate Europe again. You understand what I mean, right? Because we have a goalkeeper, world-class goalkeeper. We have a lot of top-class players in attack. We have a top world-class midfielder. Bro, we literally have so many tools already in the team right now. We just need, like we just mentioned, right? Just to add to the little things, the little things. Like that's why I always sometimes get frustrated, Hafid. It's not that I'm sitting here saying, let's go and get all these world-class players, this and this and this. I'm sorry, man. I'm not saying that. But I do believe, and from the bottom of my heart, right? Just go out and get capable players in the positions where we need them, and we will be ready. But before you continue, big up to King Savage for the 2 super chats, man. Yo, big up to King Savage every single time. Says Omar, hey Omar, would you take Erling Haaland to give Madrid terrible nightmares to sleep on the rest of the rest of their lives? Haaland over Mbappe all day, every day, or take Julian Alvarez and give you good tactical. Now, this is a good question, Hafid. Now, tactical wise, like King Savage mentioned, it does actually make more sense to go for Alvarez because he will kind of integrate to this team and he will perform, but also the team, I feel like, will work, right? Whereas with Haaland, as far as a volume of goals is concerned, yo, my guy, he will give us goals. If we just talk about goals, I don't care if Haaland fits the system. Haaland doesn't need to fit the system, bro. He can just be in the attack, bro. Just put the ball where it needs to be. He will do the rest. You understand what I mean, right? He even with this system, he will still be able to go. Do you understand what I mean, right? Now, this is an interesting one. Now, I'm gonna be very honest. I would take either one. Any of these two that we get, I won't complain. As far as the Haaland one is concerned, I think Haaland as a striker makes more sense because he will get the goals. But system-wise, the system is gonna have to be tweaked for us to kind of accommodate Haaland. Whereas with Alvarez, he's not gonna get the volume goals of Haaland, but definitely guys like Yamal, whoever the left winger is, if it's Rafinha, right? I feel like that could work as a great front three. Now, what would you rather have? Would you rather have the striker with the chemistry, or would you rather have the guaranteed goal scorer in attack?
I'll take the guaranteed goal scorer. I think Erling Haaland I would definitely take. Even if we changed managers, we have a different system, I feel like Haaland can adapt to any system, whereas Julian Alvarez is just he has a bit of a bracket that he can only fit into. But I would definitely take Haaland every day over Julian.
No, I agree. But King Savage sends another super chat. My guy to King Savage every single time. Appreciate you. Says because Mbappe been trash and been holding Madrid back ever since he joined Real Madrid football club, right? And since last year and last season, and it's super facts. Omar, we've seen it at Real Madrid versus Real Betis. He's been holding Madrid back. Now, I was going to talk about the Madrid thing just after we finish this, because that's actually what I want to talk about, this Mbappe point, right? Right? Because this actually is true, though, right? Mbappe is scoring goals. Like you just mentioned, guaranteed goal scorer, right? Mbappe has been guaranteeing goals at Real Madrid since he's arrived. But, bro, let's be real, man. The chemistry doesn't work with Vinny and Kylian and other players out there. I feel like a lot of players have had to sacrifice their game to kind of make Mbappe turn up. You understand what I mean, right? And with Haaland, let's be real. If we sign Haaland, he'll be guaranteed his goals, but how much is Yamal going to have to sacrifice? How much is Rafinha going to sacrifice? Do you understand what I mean, Hafe, right? How much is Fermin Lopez, Dani, Olmo, like any of those guys who are there, how much are they going to have to sacrifice in their game just so that we can have Haaland put 50 goals every single season? You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's a question to be had. It's food for thought. That's why for me, I feel like the Alvarez thing, I feel like would make more sense because I feel like, there's always this thing of there's no iron team. There's actually a video I actually have coming out tomorrow on the Madrid situation to give my honest opinion, because I think that sometimes we have to look at the bigger picture here, right? There's no iron team. You can have one player cooking, but if the rest of the team is not carrying their weight, bro, you're not going to win in the big games because a team wins games. Last season, we proved it. The reason why, despite the players that they had, we still battered them 4 times is because some were doing their work, some people were not pulling their weight. You understand what I mean? Whereas with us, you had Rafinha cooking, you had Yamal cooking, you had Lewandowski cooking, you had Pedri cooking, you had Olmo cooking, you had Fermin cooking. Everyone was carrying their weight in the team, so it was never close when we played them. Yeah, some of the games were closer, but we always won. You understand what I mean, right? So, yeah, that's what I think. But listen, last thing I want to say before we move to the Madrid point, before we do wrap up, right? Because I know, you got to go to the chaos. I can't go to the chaos today. I got some stuff I got to do. But one last thing I want to talk about, just in game, right? I know we talk about Joan García, but what about the rest of the team? Because I'm very real, right? If I'm going to look down on some of the other players in the team, right? The downside for me is players like Rashford, right? And I'm a very real man. I have to call this out, Hafid. Dude, I am so sick and tired of seeing Rafinha in the 10. Why do we insist on playing Rafinha in the 10 when we clearly see it doesn't work? Like, bro, am I the only one that's seeing that this brother is not working in the 10? Because, dude, I'm sorry. I don't think he's a bad. I think Rafinha is incredible. I just think that it's just that he's being played in a position where he clearly isn't comfortable at. Like, bro, I see him even in Osasuna. Bro, the guy scored a brace, and I'm still left that game thinking, yeah, he scored a brace because he's just that good going forward. But brother, the whole game, he was being stifled. Why? Because he was playing in the 10. Yamal has proven to be a better number 10 than this guy. Why are we not playing Yamal in the 10 and maybe moving Rafinha out in the right then? If we're going to make this front, this Rashford, Rafinha, Yamal thing, I think. Right? I'm a very real man. We got to change, man. I'm sorry. I don't want to see him over there anymore. What do you think? Do you think that he should stick around in the 10, or do you think that Yamal should be played there?
Bro, I've been saying it since second game of the season when he had an ultra stinker against Levante. Should not be playing there. He's so wasted in the 10. I'd rather see Fermin, Olmo, Pedri, Lamine, Rooney, Omar BYT. Like, there's so many other options you can put ahead of Rafinha. So it's I think Flick keeps him there because he likes to keep Lamine out wide, which I get. And then that way he could play Rashford on the left. But I don't think it's a viable option for the team. Hopefully he figures that out sooner rather than later, especially now with Fermin and Olmo both being fully fit and back on the team.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it made no sense on Saturday, bro, when he just decided to play. I'm like, bro, wait a minute. So we have one of our 10s in the bench? Wait a minute, why do we have one of our 10s in the bench and playing Rafinha in the 10, bro?
Well, I think Fermin has been awful recently, and then Dani Olmo just come back from injury. I said in my match preview that I would play them in the 10. Rafinha on the right, Rashford on the left. So he played the 3 players that I wanted to see, but just in the wrong position. So he had the right idea with leaving Fermin on the bench, in my opinion.
I mean, look. I mean, I'm happy to see Olmo back on the score sheet. He just returned from injury and scoring goal. Bro, let's be real. First half of the season, he was poor. I'm looking forward. I really hope that this goal brings confidence back. He was an amazing goal, by the way. What a goal, bro. That curler was sick, man. Like the way the composure he had to literally bend that top bins. Yeah, man, you got to give it to Olmo, man. Like I mentioned, I hope he performs. I hope that now that we got both Fermin and Olmo back, the competition, that the kind of competition that we were having last season amongst each other, right, where one of them was cooking and the other one wasn't playing well, he was getting benched, and when he came off the bench, he started playing well, then the other had to hold bench. I hope that continues because it's great to have that competition among 2 players, right?
Exactly.
And no more playing Rafinha in the 10. Put Rafinha back on the left because Rashford and Balde, bro, I'm a very real, bro, that combination was killing me. I was like, bro, we could see Balde like trying to run right through that left wing, and not literally doing like Mbappe versus Vinicius when like Mbappe is moving to the left and just standing in front of Vinicius. I'm like, bro, instead of Vinicius, I'm like, bro, why are you standing right there? Go in the middle and be another option in the attack if he wants to cross it into the box. You know what I mean? It wasn't working, and clearly Flick understood it. But yeah, very quickly, man, and finally, man, and we're gonna wrap up in like 2 minutes, right? So. Very quickly, man, I just want to talk about the Madrid thing, right? 5-1. I think it wasn't a 10 out of 10 performance. I think the scoreline will kind of fool you to think, this was just one-sided. Real Madrid were just destroying these guys, and these guys did not. I think Betis were in the game until like the last 15 minutes, and then, they just put the foot off the gas. You understand what I mean, right? But Real Madrid, but yeah, 5-1. Performance-wise, it's the best performance I've seen from Madrid this season. And is it any coincidence that the guy who has been scoring all the goals, and you've seen a lot of the Madrid fans among the fan base have been debating whose fault is it. Many people think it's Mbappe. Some people say it's Vini's form. That's on him. I'm gonna be very real, man. The team really performed. Now forget about Vini or one individual. I mean the whole team. The team performed, bro. I think Bellingham had a good. I'm tripping. I think Bellingham played, right? Didn't he play?
He played, yeah, he played.
Yeah, he played, right? Even guys like Valverde, I think he was good in the game, right? Vinicius was pretty good in the first half, right? Actually, I was very impressed with him, right? Gonzalo Garcia. Brother, this is what's funny, right? If I'm a Madrid fan, God forbid, right? But if I was a Madrid fan, do you know how irritated I would be? Because I'm like, bro, that is a number 9 right there. Do you realize how important having a number 9 is? Because positionally, they know where they have to be. They don't have to be moving around. Kylian Mbappe is not a 9, despite how good he is going scoring-wise. He's not a number 9. Stop insisting on playing him as a number 9, right? He plays out in the 9 and always moving on the left and always bringing issues between him and Vini. Look at in the game against Betis. My guy was just in the 9, and bro, he was just getting production after production after production. He got a hat trick. Like that's it. That's all that they need from their attack. And you saw Vini had a great game. Rodrigo got an assist too, right? They had a great game, and they had like 3 players who I think academy products. All of the 3 players, I think Garcia, I think was he a product or did they buy? I think they might have bought him from Rayo Vallecano or something like that, right? But
no, he's their product, and they sent him on loan to Rayo Vallecano.
Okay, so fine. Okay, so cool. Yeah. 3 academy products, right? I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen 3 academy products go for their Madrid. So, hey, listen, man. I guess Abdum La Fabrica or whatever the academy is still not better than La Masia. So yeah, it is.
Never.
Yeah, but look, man, great performance. But Mbappe is out for 3 weeks. Hafed, do you think yesterday's? What did you think about that Real Madrid game? Because I'm gonna be real. If that is a sign of how they're gonna be playing without Kylian Mbappe, the Super Cup is here, bro. We could potentially be playing them in the final, man. If we see them in the final without Mbappe, bro, does it worry you that performance-wise?
I don't know. I think I would say I'd rather have Mbappe play than not. But Mbappe is just such a killer in behind. He has a lot of. He got 6 El Clasico goals now in like 4 games or 5 games. So he's a killer. But I think the team as a whole play worse with him. They play better without him. So either way, I think you're gonna get a tough game. Let's wait and see if they get past Atletico, then we can discuss it. But I would rather Mbappe be there than not. I would say overall.
That's what I think too, because sometimes you have to look at like you mentioned, performance-wise is what's the important thing, isn't it? Because you can get the goals, you can get you can get all the goals and all that, but dude, a lot of us were still like hoping that Mbappe was the number 9 because we're like, yeah, he still goes. Well, this is the thing, bro. The rest of the team doesn't perform, and if the rest of the team is not performing, and Barcelona have 11 players all performing, it's more likely that we're gonna win. Look at when we played them in the first 2 Clásicos, bro. It wasn't even close. We destroyed them easily, bro. Because we had 11 players who were all playing out of their skin. Whereas for them, some players were just choosing when they wanted to perform and when not to perform. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they play in the final. If they perform collectively, I will be a little bit worried because let's be honest, Madrid do have a good squad. I just feel like a lot of their players just have not been playing well amongst each other, right? So, but listen, I'm still believing us. I feel like they were lucky when they played us in the start of the season. We had so many injuries, but now guess what, bro? We have a fit squad now. We have a good squad, and unfortunately, Joan García will not be part of the Super Cup team. But it is what it is, man. We will deal with it without him. But yeah, man, Hafed, big up to you, man. Appreciate you for being here. Listen, man. What do you got coming up on your channel, man? Like, I know, obviously, watch along on Wednesday, right?
Super Cup a week, man. It's going to be all Super Cup. We got a big game on Wednesday, hopefully a big final on Sunday. We got a new signing as well. We'll wait and see if we sign anyone else. Copa del Rey draw is on Wednesday as well. We have a Copa del Rey round 16 game next week in the middle of the week. So lots of streams and lots of videos coming up, hopefully, this week.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to Barca Boy's channel, guys. I will be putting the link to his channel in the title, and I'll put him on as a collaborator, so you guys can go and subscribe to him. Make sure you guys go just search Barca Boy, and you'll find my guy's channel every single time. Listen, The next episode of the podcast will be on his channel, by the way, because we've done a few on my channel now. So next one will definitely be running on Barca Boys channel. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Barca Boys channel. Maybe as early as Friday, because we have a game in the weekend, right?
So depends if we make the final now. We'll see, but
yeah. So if we do a preview of the final, if we do the final on Barca Boys channel, you feel me, right? So
it'll be a rant. It'll be a gigantic rant.
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe. Big up to all the people in here. Big up to King Savage for the 2 super chats, man. My guy. Appreciate you guys, all the guys who've been supporting. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, guys. If you're new, right? If you love these videos, guys, all these streams, guys, we always have a lot of streams and videos always coming out. Make sure you guys go and subscribe. And yeah, listen. This stream is going to redirect you guys to Football Carnage, right? He's going to be his Football Chaos is about to start. Make sure you guys go out there. Put Omar BYT or Garcia, Joan Garcia the GOAT, right? Just spam Joan Garcia the GOAT. Don't put Garcia, because if you put Garcia, they're going to think you're talking about Gonzalo Garcia. We don't care about that guy. Is the second-rate Garcia. We're talking about the real Garcia in Joan Garcia. Joan Garcia the GOAT. Just put it down there, man. Make sure to let them know that I send you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Big up to you guys, man. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalonia, and peace, you guys. Take care.